Section 6.4 Elimination. Essential question. How do you use the elimination method when you are not given opposites? Use elimination to solve the system of equations. Okay, how could we create opposites in this system? So in 6.3, we always had two numbers that would give us 0. So for example, 2x and negative 2x, 3y and negative 3y. You'll notice in these equations, we don't have anything that gives us 0. 4 and 4 make 8, 2 and negative 3 make negative 1, 28 and 18 make 46. So we've got to figure out how can we create opposites. The rule in algebra is if you want to change a number, you can times every number in that equation by the same number and it's allowed. So if I have 4 and 4, I just need one of those to be negative to create opposites. So I can multiply 4 by negative 1 in order to create negative 4. But the thing is I have to times every number by negative 1. So 4 times negative 4 would be negative 4x. Negative 3 times negative 1 would be positive 3. 18 times negative 1 would be negative 18. After you've times every number in one of the equations by what you wanted to, let's cross it off. We're not going to use it anymore. Now I know I did this correctly because I have opposites. 4 and negative 4 make 0. So 2y and 3y make 5y. 28 minus 18 gives me 10. Divide both sides by 5, and I'm left with y equals 2. Now really I can take that 2 and plug it into any of those three equations, but I'm going to pick the top one because I usually do that in each problem. So I'm going to say 4x plus 2 times 2 equals 28. And I'm going to simplify. 4x plus 4 equals 28. 4x is my couple, so I'll get rid of the third wheel. Divide both sides by 4. And we have x equals 6. So the coordinate point where these two equations would intersect is 6, 2. Alright, next system. How could we create opposites in this system? 5x plus 6y equals negative 8. 2x plus 3y equals negative 5. Now this time we don't have any matching numbers. On the last problem we had matching 4s. We don't have any matching numbers this time. So I've got to figure out how can I still create opposites. Well, 2 can't go into 5, but 3 can go into 6. If I multiply 3 by 2, I can get 6, but the only problem is I don't want 6, I want negative 6. So times everything by negative 2. So negative 4x minus 6y equals 10. Make sure you're multiplying every single number in the equation by negative 2. You can't just multiply one number, it has to be all three. So now, I know I did this correct because I made opposites. 6 and negative 6 made 0. 5x minus 4x gives me x. Negative 8 and 10 gives me 2. So that one is ready to go. There's half of my answer. Now I've got to find my y coordinate. I'm going to plug 2 in for x in my top equation. So 5 times 2 plus 6y equals negative 8. 10 plus 6y equals negative 8. My couple is 6y. My third wheel is 10. So I'll subtract 10 on both sides. Divide both sides by 6. And I'm left with y equals negative 3. So my coordinate point where these two equations would intersect is 2, negative 3. All right, how can we create opposites in this system? Well, I got to ask myself, can 2 go into 6? Can 5 go into 11? Well, 5 can't go into 11, but 2 can go into 6. So let's times the top equation. If this right here is 6, I want the top equation to be negative 6. So ask yourself, what do I have to times negative 2 by To get negative 6, I'd have to times it by 3. So times every number in that top equation by 3. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. 1 times 3 is 3. Oh, and sorry, this is 5 times 3, so positive 15. Okay, so now I'm done with that equation. 6 and negative 6 make 0, so I know I did that part right. Negative 11 and 15 make 4. 3 and 1 make 4. So divide both sides by 4. And I've got y equals 1. All right, now I'm going to take that 1 and plug it into my top equation. So negative 2x plus 5 times 1 equals 1. Negative 2x plus 5 equals 1. Subtract 5 on both sides. Divide both sides by negative 2. And I'm left with x equals 2. So my coordinate point for this system is 2, 1. It is intersecting one solution. How can we create opposites in this system? Well, this one's a little unique because there's actually 2 options. 3 can go into 9, negative 2, to make negative 2 and 2. I'm just going to choose one of them. It doesn't matter which one. You should get the same answer either way. So I'm going to times this bottom equation by negative 3. So 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Negative 4 times 3 is 12. So don't forget, again, I'll remind you, multiply every number in that equation by the number outside the parentheses. I know I did this correctly because 9 and negative 9 make 0. 1, 13 and 12 make 25. And we're left with y equals negative 5. I'm going to take negative 5 and plug it into my top equation. So 9x minus 5 equals 13. Couple and third wheel. Add 5 to both sides. Divide both sides by 9. X equals 2. Or this system would intersect. Summary. The homework for this lesson is page 357, numbers 1 through 2, 7 through 10.